You want to sell your current house to buy a new house, but that feels like switching planes at altitude. Wow, that sounds like a lot. So here we need to talk about today, how do we make this process easy for you to sell your current house to buy a new house in San Antonio, Texas in 2026. Oh, by the way, I'm Mark Stillings. I'm an associate broker here with Real in San Antonio, Texas. I've been doing this 18 years and helped somewhere near 600 families do this. What does that mean to you? I've just got the experience to get you through this process when you're going to sell your house to buy a house. Well, there's a method to the madness here because there is going to be a lot to juggle, and that's why you need someone with a lot of experience getting through these processes. We have to break it down into steps, things we can digest, so we can get you over the hump to buy the next property. A couple different ways to do this, but let's focus on your current house first and what would need to be done for preparation. We want this to be as smooth as possible. We want to minimize opportunities for disruption. How do we do that? It gets into the preparation of the current house. We want to make sure to stage it so it's very attractive. You're going to do things like probably power wash the front steps and the driveway. You're going to want to put out the bags of mulch. We're going to do all those things to have great curb appeal because your front shot is your introduction to the rest of the world. So we need to start off on a good fit. When we get into the interior, we're going to look at perhaps doing a deep clean, staging the property, not for living condition, but showing condition so it photographs well. So with my experience, I help you through those processes as well. And when need be, I can refer people that can help you with things like the power wash, with doing actual staging. I've got all the resources based on doing this for 18 years. So that's the prep work. Now we need to make decisions on pricing your home. So I'm going to use my experience as a pricing strategy advisor to help you make a smart decision on where to price your home. Because if you overprice it, the danger is that you're going to sit on the market a long time and eventually you'll get lowball. So that's not going to help our process in getting you the next house if it takes way too long and you get too little money for your house because we got lowball. So I'm going to go ahead and use comparable sales and use my experience to evaluate where do we need to price your home to sell. We're going to want to have an attractive price because we need to get that first domino to fall where someone comes in and makes an offer on your house. That's how we're going to get to your new house. But the offer is just the start. So people are going to come in and make an offer. I'm going to use my experience negotiating. I am a pricing strategy advisor. I'm going to help you get to the top amount of equity possible and still get your house sold. When we know that number, when we get an offer, that's just the start point. Let's say we get into title, we negotiate a contract. We have to be prepared that the buyer is going to do an inspection. Now, ideally, we've worked up front to kind of tune your house up so that we don't have a lot to tackle when the negotiation comes in for the repairs. But I will help you through that process, and we can look at doing actual work when needed, or perhaps just doing a credit to make it easier on you. So once we get that over that first hurdle, which is generally in the first 7 to 10 days of the contract, then we've got another big hurdle, and that's the appraisal. Because the buyer's lender is going to send an appraiser out to validate that the house is worth what they're trying to finance. So I need to make sure that our pricing and our contract lines up with that appraisal. That's why experience matters. Once we get over the appraisal, there's a lot of other little details. The buyers are going to look at surveys. They're going to look at HOA documents if you're in an HOA. But the big two things are inspections and appraisal. Once we get past that and we provided the other required documentation, we're on the downhill slide to get your house closed. Now, ideally, if we're selling your house while you're living in it to buy a new one, we have already started the process of looking at new homes. That way we can go out and shop the market to have an idea of what's available. And based on that, we might make a contingent offer on a seller's current home, or we might just kind of wait until we've got a contract and make an offer then. When you make a contingent offer, sellers would like to see on the new home that you have a contract on your current home because that increases their confidence that you will be able to close and then close on their property. That's one way to do it. The other way we could approach the new home is just to pull the equity out of the current home before we even start selling. So that way you've got the money in hand and you're qualified to buy the new home first and then sell your current home second. But either way, this is going to be a 2-transaction process, and which path works best for you? That probably has a lot to do with your meeting with a lender, a very skilled lender that will give you the different options so you can evaluate what's going to work for you with you. Because when you pull your equity out first, it is more convenient, but there's a transaction fee, and you might be looking at something around 2% of the cost. And then when you buy your new house, you're going to have 6 months to sell your current house and put that money towards the equity. So again, 2 different paths to get there, 2 different ways to skin the cat. There's no one way, so I'll sit down and consult with you to make sure we're making the smart decisions. Now, when we get to the new house, we're going to play the game from the other side. We're going to look at comparable sales. We're going to make an aggressive offer. I'm going to work to negotiate your closing cost. When we do get under contract, then we're going to go ahead and do inspections. I'm going to help you provide or prepare a list of repairs so we can negotiate with the seller on getting repairs done, or maybe a credit. We're going to look to make sure that the price of the home matches what we think the appraisal will come in. That way you're not caught short because we made an offer that the appraisal won't support. We're going to look at all the other administrative things like the survey and the HOA docs just to make sure you're happy with everything you see. So essentially we're playing the same game but with the roles being reversed. So on one side I will help you as the listing agent to navigate that, and then we'll turn around and play the same game but from the other angle, which is the buyer side. So you probably get the sense that there's a lot of moving parts, and yes, but relax. When you're working with someone like myself that has experience of doing this many, many times, I can get you through the process so we can get you out of your current home and into your new dream home. So if this sounds interesting to you and you even just want to explore the idea of a move up and what that would all involve and what the financials look like, you've got my contact information. Make sure to like and subscribe and you'll get other similar content, and I'll look forward to talking to you again about selling your house smart in San Antonio, Texas.